There are a dozen Dragon Ball skins in Fortnite, and I'm sure there will be many more to come in the future. But ever since Goku first arrived on the island, we've only gotten 3 emotes from this series. Sure, the 3 we got were great, and I'm glad that they're not limited to just Dragon Ball skins, but you would think that after 2 years of Dragon Ball collabs, we'd have gotten more than just the ones we had to begin with. And that's what we're here today to discuss. I've got 10 ideas for Fortnite emotes that I really hope Epic will consider putting into the game at some point. And I thought I could use some help here, so I've asked my Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 OC, Chikori, to come in and do some of these emotes for us. Here we go with our first emote suggestion, and it kinda is in the game already, but not in the way you'd think. The Frieza stance is iconic for this character, and I'm kinda surprised it wasn't an emote for him, even if it was built in. Granted, he does do the pose when you first activate his glider. It doesn't last long, but it's there. Speaking of Frieza and poses, I think that even if you didn't add the characters themselves to the game, you have to add the various Ginyu Force poses. Usually I think a group emote is limited to 4 because that's as many people as you can have in a squad. But if they could find a way to make the Ginyu Force emotes sync up to 5 players and recreate the whole signature Ginyu Force pose, I think a lot of people would really enjoy that. Now my third suggestion might be kind of a way to cheat in the game, but I think I know a way they can fix that problem if they were to do it. I'm of course talking about instant transmission. Now of course instant transmission is teleportation, so the idea would be to have your character briefly disappear from the battlefield. If you'll remember, when Fortnite first released the dip, players were actually using it as a dodge mechanic to get out of the way of bullets. The character models would drop to the ground so quick that it actually was an effective defensive move. Naturally, Epic didn't intend for the emote to have that big of an impact on gameplay, so they made the drop itself a little bit slower to make up for it. Now, the way you would prevent a similar situation from happening with instant transmission is you make it to where once you start that emote, you can't move until the emote completes. That would make the emote a double-edged sword. If you want that very brief moment of invincibility where you can't take any damage, you'll have to deal with the before and after where you're completely open to any attack. Number 4 is another of Goku's most iconic moves, the Spirit Bomb. Now I think there are several ways you could go about this one. Mostly, I just want the characters to be able to do that share your energy with me pose, where they raise their hands to the sky, and maybe you could show ki gathering in their hands or leaving from their bodies to go to whoever may be needing it at the moment. You can make it to where that one emote has 2 different variants that plays whenever you use it, either the single-handed form or the double-handed form. You could maybe even do a version where the character that initiates the emote has a tiny spirit bomb forming over their head. And as other players start to sync up with the first player, the spirit bomb grows. For number 5, we're going from spirit bomb to spirit ball. The spirit ball was Yamcha's move, and I think that one could actually work as a full emote. This would allow any character to summon a small key ball and control it with their hands for a while before sending it off screen. I mean, Epic was able to work Naruto's Rasen Shuriken into an emote, so if they can do that, the Spirit Ball should work perfectly. Now for the next suggestion, we're sticking with Yamcha because there's one particular pose Yamcha is very well known for. It is, of course, the iconic and appropriately named Yamcha pose. Despite the fact that it was originally a very serious moment in the show, it went on to become a meme and has been seen across a lot of different anime and other media. It's such a popular meme that even Dragon Ball Super brought it back for the baseball filler episode, which is a great episode of the show, by the way. Fortnite is already the king of memes as far as video games goes. This would be right up their alley. For emote number 7, we gotta apologize to TN for borrowing his technique, but it's the solar flare. I think this one could be a pretty simple one to do. The pose itself isn't very complicated. All you need is a brief flash of light and there you go. Now for the next one, you might stand out like a big sore thumb, but I would really like to see the flying technique as a traversal emote. In the original series, it wasn't like this, but nowadays, and for the longest time, most of the important characters in Dragon Ball all possess the ability to fly. The way I would like to see it done is for the character to be activating their ki just like the boosting ki or charging up emotes, but levitating up off the ground just a bit. Then just make a traversal and let the character float around slowly. It may not be as exciting as flying around the map using Iron Man's boots, but at least it would be the Dragon Ball flight technique in the game. For number 9, we're going with Future Trunks' Burning Attack, a move that was used just as a diversion to get Frieza to drop his guard because Trunks really wanted to cut him up into tiny pieces. The hand motions that he uses as he's preparing the attack don't really seem to have any effect. He's just doing it to do it. But you gotta admit, it does look kinda cool. You can maybe even have the character launch a ki blast after doing that emote, but I think just the hand motions would satisfy most people. And last but not least, the final emote suggestion I've got for you guys today comes to us from the Prince of All Saiyans. His Highness is already in the game, so it would make perfect sense to give it to him. Vegeta's Bingo Dance from the Battle of Gods movie. That moment in the movie is so funny because it's just completely out of character for Vegeta to do this, but he's so scared of Beerus that he's willing to humiliate himself in front of all of his friends just to keep the Earth from being destroyed. I guarantee you, people would love that emote. Again, Fortnite loves them some memes, they love them some comedy, and this is perfect Dragon Ball comedy. The most serious character in the entire show doing the silliest dance possible. It's perfect for them. And there you have it. Those are my 10 suggestions for Dragon Ball emotes for Fortnite in the future. I know that the main focus of collabs is usually the skins, but I really feel like there's an extra element that the emotes bring that allows the character to retain something from their world when they come to the Fortnite island. A skin is just a skin, but if you give them an emote that allows them to do something we're used to seeing them do, I think that makes it feel a little bit more authentic. What do you guys think? Do you think that the emotes that we've got for Dragon Ball in the game are enough, or would you like to see more of them added as well? Are there any possible emote ideas that I didn't mention that you guys would like to see? Let me know in the comments if you can think of a few. And that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. You can also donate to the channel over on my Ko-fi page, or maybe become a member of the channel and get a few little perks. Now, I'm gonna go listen to the Ginyu Force theme song for an hour.